Hi and good evening. Pardon me, got a frog in my throat. Hi and good evening, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, where tonight we are doing the preview for the Nottingham Forest Tottenham Hotspur game on Saturday. Alongside me tonight is my usual two co-hosts, the Queen Ellie and the Godfather Philip Brady. I'll start with you, Philip. How are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, very good, Dermot. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend and more Spurs action, and hopefully 3 points on Sunday afternoon against Forest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so true. And Ellie, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm the same as Philip. I'm hoping for 3 points and a fabulous display of Tottenham Hotspur football, because we haven't seen much of that. You know, a bit of style and a bit more passion, and just better play really all round.
Well, I would question that, Ellie, because if you're playing badly and you're getting points, that's a good thing. We're unbeaten.
I don't doubt that.
As Conte said in his press conference, we will get onto that later about that.
Yeah.
You don't have to start the game well to get the 3 points at the end of the day.
No, you don't.
I do get what you're saying, but everyone should listen to Queen Ellie. She is the queen, and we have to back her.
I just like good football. It's nice to play good football and to win.
Yeah, it is. Just a quick little bit of housekeeping sort out of. Just a big up to our Patreon members, Philip Brady, and of course, Philip and Ellie, both Patreon members. Leo as well from Mile High Hotspur will be joining us later, and Izan as well. Please, everyone, hit the link. Is on the YouTube channel. I know it's tough out there, but there is a cheap one, there's a middle one, and the Harry Kane one. All the money that we get goes back into the channel to get us further along, so we'll be able to do this for longer and make it better for you, make it better viewing for you. So please, it does help. And we're getting to these chats. Who's come in tonight? We have Corey Boy 85. Big up Corey Boy. He says, enough time to boil the kettle. And also sent the message. Yeah, I did get it, and I've just got the reply. And you're always welcome on here, Corey. I know you don't have a computer at the moment. I started on my phone, same as Dave, and I did it for a while on my phone. And Ellie's been doing a lot of it on her phone as well. It's easy, and anytime you want to pop in here for watch-alongs and anything, you're always welcome on here, THC. His first went, hey, I'm here. I enjoy so much Spurs content. I can't get enough of everyone in this amazing community, and for the club we all love, Coys. Yes, we do. So big up, Corey Boy 85. We've got Tom.
Nice one.
Tom Macarin. Sorry if I haven't pronounced your surname correctly. He says good evening. And we've got McCannon. Sorry.
Yeah.
We've got Carl Simpson. Big up, Carl. Carl's been here since the start.
Yes, hello, Carl.
I love Carl's little quips sometimes when he gets in. It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
Corey's saying big up to all. Carl's saying hey, Carrie, and he's saying what's up, Carl. So, that's everybody in the chat. Please like and subscribe, but hit that like button as well.
Lisa's just come in the chat as well, Derm.
Oh, has she? Has Lisa come in? Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there's
she
Lisa.
Has. She's loyal to us.
Good evening. Big up to all, and thanks for doing the pre-match show today, as I can't watch tomorrow. Well, we're doing it today because somebody's going to an engagement party, and it's actually worked out better for Philip as well. So it's worked out well for all of us. So big up,
Lisa. I'm getting a Chelsea fan in my family, and I'm feeling sick.
Oh no!
I have to get onto the whiskey later on to sort of calm my nerves.
And then Corey Boy says, my toddlers refuse to settle down. It's 9 p.m. Well, playing some softly Chaz and Dave Spurs are on the way to Wembley. Or a little bit of Tottenham. That will work. And I know he sent me he's a single dad. Can I give up a big thumbs up for being a single dad with a little one? Fair play to you. It's not easy. It's easier. It's not easy at times when there's two of you, when there's only one of you. Big up, Corey Boy.
He could do Lullaby Romero on the treetop.
What we do is we'll pre-record Ellie singing Tottenham chants lullabies, and we will put it out for sale.
Yeah.
$9.99.
It's going to go platinum.
Yeah. of Ellie's golden tunes.
Yeah.
And we've got Tom, I'll take that, and then his Corey boy saying, he's in his Spurs pajamas. Oh, bless.
Oh, that's lovely.
And he said, I've been both for mum and dad from when he was born. Well, big up, sir. You got my.
Yeah.
I take my hat off to you, sir. Well done.
Well done.
And Carl Sitson played them Harry Winks compilation video.
I'll have to record that one in Sampdoria.
Yeah. Lisa says, Ellie, I'll have a tequila for you too. Future drama to come into your household.
Oh my god!
Ellie's on the Potchine. That's what she
I'm
needs.
only on the Evian.
Yeah, you're on. That's Potchine you're on.
Yeah.
When he was big up Corey, and then the Brotherhood game says I buy it. So there's some of that. I buy your golden.
There you
tunes,
go.
Ellie.
That's one sold.
And Stephen Cartwright, I haven't seen you in a while, Stephen. So big up for dropping in. He said,
Hello,
just watched
Stephen.
the under-21s draw 3-0 with Liverpool. They were 3-0 up at half time, but Harvey Winks went off injured, and they got it back to 3-3.
Yeah, Harvey
And then
Wright, very good player.
What compilation is that when Winks showed promise before the injury or after? He said, I don't want to ball my son. See, even Winks is dividing opinion now, but big up everyone in the chat. And let's crack on with the show.
Yes.
Right. We are playing Nottingham Forest on Sunday at 4:30 at the County Ground. It's the first game we've played with them in I think it's 20 years, is it, Philip?
They haven't been. They were relegated in 1999, so it's 23 years since we played them in the league.
23 years.
23, bloody hell.
If you're in America, you can watch on the NBC Sports networks at 11:30 Eastern Time. I don't know what it is Western Time. I really, so I'm sorry about that.
9:30.
I did try to find it in Canada, but I think this is what it is. And then for everyone in the UK and Ireland, it's on Sky Sports Premier League and Sky Sports main event. 4:00 it starts, but the game kicks off at 4:30.
Yeah.
So we're splitting this show now into segments, four different segments. This is the Tottenham Hotspur history segment. Now, Philip, I let you. I get this is our Premier League history so far. I mean, I let you take the people through it. What do you think of that? I mean,
yeah, it's not bad. I mean, we're unbeaten in 786 matches out of 11.5. So it's an average of 36. It's 20. The Premiership is 20 years old, so it's an average of 18 defeats a season, roughly.
Yeah.
Which is probably a lot of that would have been in the earlier days of the Premiership. We were losing a lot of matches. You know,
we were.
We conceded well in the plus. We're 311 goals to good on the goals scored and conceded thing. So it's an interesting stat that. And 331 clean sheets. Hugo Lloris has the majority of them.
Yeah,
he was 120 clean sheets, I think, or something thereabouts. So I don't think any other goalkeeper would have anywhere close to that.
No.
So interesting. I'd like to see maybe at the end of this season the win figure has gone up to about 530 or 35. You know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Ellie, what do you?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the goal scores and the goals conceded and the clean sheets. It's just Tottenham, isn't it? It's just the Tottenham way. We're always going to try to. Our attitude is right. We're going to beat you 4-5, 5-4, 4-3.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that. Where do you? I mean, it's not a bad record, is it, in the Premier League for 30 years?
It's a fair record. I would say. Obviously, we've scored more than we've conceded, but I think if we tightened up our defence a little bit more, we could have even been a lot better and got more trophies even, because in the last, 15 years, we haven't won one. So do you know what? It swings and roundabouts with Spurs. You don't know what you're going to get. We're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So... You go to the match hoping you're going to see the Spurs that you want to see, and then it pans out that it doesn't. You don't get that Spurs, and then the next time you'll go, you think, oh, we're going to see the same, and they'll surprise you with a fantastic performance. You know, so we've always been a bit like that since the Premiership's come. But prior to that, we were superb. You know,
I just remember Aussie's team. For me, that was just brilliant. Aussie's team was.
Oh no,
it was just so it was fun. That's all I could say.
I must have made a mistake. I made a mistake there. I forgot. I was working that out over 20 years. Premiership is 30 years going. So that's only 12 losses. 12 losses a season, roughly. So that's a lot better. It's a lot better.
Yeah.
We've played Nottingham Forest a few times over the years. I mean, Philip, 60-61 on double year.
Yeah, double year.
4-0.
Yeah.
We beat everybody that year. I mean, that's, you know.
I wasn't even born.
And then
I
on the
was
return
coming the
leg,
next
we
year.
beat them 4-0 again.
8-0.
For me,
that'll be good now this season if we can repeat that.
It would. It would.
It's very likely as well because they'll come at us, Forest, and we'll just pick them off.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest win against Nottingham Forest, 9-2 in 62-63.
I say Jimmy Green's got a few of them now.
I say so.
That's the year I was born, 62, so I brought us luck.
Yeah, that's probably the day you were born, Ellie.
Yeah.
This was the first time we played them, 1999-1910. We drew 2-2 with them on the way in the 1st of August.
Yeah.
And this is the day we shall never forget.
Yes.
18th of May, 1991. We beat them in the FA Cup final. Philip, I'll start with you, Ellie, then go to Philip. Ellie, what do you remember of that day?
Right. So I was with all my brothers went, but I was sitting with one of my brothers just below the Queen's box. So we had really good seats.
I mean, you weren't in the Queen's box, no?
No, I should have been, shouldn't I? Come on. You know what I mean?
Right, you know what, Philip? Ellie was probably sending notes up to the royal box, letting me in.
You're sitting in my seat.
I did. I was making paper aeroplanes.
Who is there? Was it Diana? Was it Diana and Charles there that day? I think in the royal box.
Yeah, they were.
Diana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to
Diana,
the match.
get out of my seat.
I was just so excited to see Gazza because he'd got us to the final. Basically on his own, literally on his own. He dragged us to that final. And I was so excited to see him. And he came out like a madman. And all I remember is him kicking Ian Wone in the gut in the first few minutes. And then he does that reckless tackle on Gary Charles where he does his cruciate knee ligaments. And like my brother turned to me, he goes, Gazza's on one today. He's taken something. And I said, yeah, he was like a crazy... He was like so excited about the match that he couldn't contain it, you know. And in the end, it came out good because we took the cup to him afterwards as well, didn't we? So,
we did.
And he deserved that. Gary Mabbott took it to him as well, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
I went to the hospital bed afterwards. Yeah, remember that.
It was a brilliant day as well, Dermot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the game. It was a pretty good game, you know.
It was. Philip, should a referee have booked Gazza after that first tackle? You look back on it now, should he have?
If that happened in the match today, he would have been sent off to be arrested.
He would have. VAR.
No, it was a red card all day long. It was, you know. The referee was, what do you call it, Roger Milford.
Yeah,
it was.
He was very late. The boy with the coffered hair, you know, real flashy hair. I say he felt sorry for Gazza because he wouldn't not have got away with it today. Not a hope.
No,
he was gone, and we wouldn't have won that match if that happened.
Especially if it was Mike Dean, he would have been sent off straight away.
He probably would have been sent off the first tackle on Wone.
Yeah,
I mean, Gazza was like a man possessed in that game. The short while he was
what
on.
I said.
Absolutely,
he was.
I'll tell you, my brother said he took something. He must have taken something.
Lucky there was no drug testing in those days.
Do you know what I mean?
There wasn't. The last time we played them at the county ground was we beat them 1-0 in 98-99 season, the year they actually went down. We've played them 10 times. We've won 3, drawn 1, lost 6, scored 11 and 15 against. So we haven't got a great
poor record.
Premier League against them, but we are unbeaten against them in all competitions in the last 6 games.
That's
so
really
between
good.
League Cup and FA Cups, So the last 6
Yeah.
games we are unbeaten. So
Yeah.
that's your
Yeah.
history part of the channels. We've got 2 questions here from people.
Okay.
I'd like to put to the panel. First one here is from Corey Boy 85. Who would you want to replace Hugo, guys? My money's on the lad from Leeds. For me,
Oh,
I would love our goalkeeper, the keeper who plays for the Republic of Ireland, Philip.
Zuma.
Yeah, Bazuna. I think he's a great young keeper coming up. I
is
think
he the
he'd be
guy
a
at
great-
Southampton now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not him, then Henderson,
Dean Henderson. Yeah.
Dean
Yeah.
Henderson. I wouldn't mind him.
He's only on loan to United, so we can get him next season.
Do
Yeah.
you know who I would like? The Wolves
Yeah.
goalie.
Sa.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Brilliant goalkeeper.
and
Yes, he is
Very
good.
athletic.
and you, Philip, who would you like?
I think I go for Henderson. You know, if we can't get, we're not going to get Basuma. He's gone. Henderson will be a good goalkeeper, and
Steak.
the
Just saying
Wolves,
steak.
the Wolves guy will be very good as well. I'm trying to think. There's another guy that I was thinking of was good. Who was it? He's gone now. No, I'd stick for Henderson. Henderson kept Nottingham Forest in it against West Ham a couple of weeks ago, and I'm hoping he has a stinker on Sunday.
Sorry,
We'll take Harrison.
I got mixed
He's
up.
having a stinker.
I should have said City Ground, not County Ground. I don't know why I thought County Ground. I'm sorry, Tom. Big up, man, for putting me straight. Yeah, it's the City Ground, not the County Ground.
Just saying steak for Alexander Hilton.
Yeah.
Steak.
Another question here from the Brotherhood of Games. Do you think our transfer business has been good enough? I'm going to start with you, Philip, on this.
It's been good, and I'm hoping it's going to get better in the next week. What have we got now? What are we now? The 26th. Another 5 days of the transfer window. I think if we need a centre back. That is, everybody's crying out for centre back. I'd be happy if we got a centre back, a good centre back. I'd be absolutely delighted if we got an attacking midfielder as well, but that would not be a priority. So if we get a centre back in, I'd be very, very happy with the transfer window. If we get a cam in as well, even better. But it's been good. I mean, we can think back there in recent years where we went 3 transfer windows without buying anybody.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that happened this time?
Yeah.
There will be absolute carnage. So, it's been pretty good. Okay, a lot of other teams have bought a lot of players. I mean, Nottingham Forest have bought in about 37 players as far as I can see. You know, but the problem they're going to have is gelling. West Ham have bought in a load of players and they're just crap anyway, so I won't worry about them. So it's a matter of coming in with the players that will actually gel into the team. Conte's been very cute. He hasn't pushed them all in together. He's bringing them in gradually. It's like baking a cake. You're stirring the ingredients in one by one until you get the finished article. And that's the way it's worked.
I mean, that's a great answer. And also
I
here,
like
Eddie, Corey Boy 85 put in 2 quality centre backs and a cam, and I would be happy. Do you agree with him? Do you think, have we got enough time between now and the end of the window? Or do you think, Ellie, that we have to get some business done now, but also work before the January window as well?
Yeah, I would like to see him come before January, obviously, because we're crying out for a centre back. But as an attacking midfielder myself, I knew what I could bring to a team. Conte, he's more a wing back man and a solid midfield. But against Chelsea, it was evident that we needed somebody to create because our forwards weren't getting the ball.
Yeah.
Right. And the midfield, they were too occupied stopping Chelsea from playing. Right. So they didn't have enough progression. So, but if we had one Cam in there to pass to, and he would have progressed the ball upwards to Harry Kane, even Richarlison when he came on, and Sonny. So I just feel that Cam role should be filled myself because you need creativity, and we're Spurs, right? We're Spurs. We're built on creativity. That's what we're known for, our beautiful football, right? We haven't always been the most successful club in terms of getting over the line, but we've nearly got there. If we just had one more extra player in that midfield, it's going to make a massive difference. And then we can rotate as well, Dermot and Philip. We can say, have one defensive midfielder, one cam, and then if it's not working, go back to two defensive midfielders. You know, but actually Bentancur, he's not really defensive, nor is Hotspur really. He can play that forward role as well. He's better at the holding role, I must admit. But we had too many gaps in midfield in that Chelsea game, and they just walked through us. And Benny went missing as well, which didn't help out Hotspur. So I'm thinking a centre back and a cam, and hopefully a right wing back if he doesn't fancy Spence.
Yeah.
I think
him in the under 23s.
I think the problem we've got by bringing in a cam, if we bring in a cam and want to play him regularly, we have to play 3-5-2, which means sacrificing one of the forward guys.
Yeah, it does.
Easy, you know. So okay, I can take it that if you've got the two wing backs, so you've got Bentancur and Højbjerg, and then you've got your creative guy playing slightly in front of them. It's more like a 3-4-1-2. You know, so he's in front of the defensive midfielders. But that's going to mean sacrificing Kulusevski or Son or somebody, and I don't know whether that's going to work either, you know.
Yeah, but what you could do, because Romero covers on the right for Emerson anyway, is play Kulu as the right, not a right wing back, but a right winger, and then have Romero behind him. Yeah, because that would work. Because Romero can cover two defensive jobs anyway, because he's got the athleticism and he's got the know-how. He reads the game very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up everyone in the chat, and please get your thoughts in too. And big up Mick Harmlet. Great to see you. Great.
Hello, Mick.
Carl
nice
Simpson
guy.
says, where is it? Premier Hotspur. Big up, Simon. I hope you're all right.
Yay.
Everyone get over to his channel and hit
Simon.
subscribe on there. He says,
Got a
calm
brilliant
down,
channel.
everyone. Do you really think Conte and Paratici is stopping these guys?
Hopefully not.
Don't be silly in capital letters. Don't be silly in these two. I absolutely trust. And I have to say, I actually agree with that. I think between now and the end of the window, we will get players in. I think people will be very surprised by the business we will be doing.
I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, whenever we signed the 6 players, I said, now there's going to be a gap now. There'll be nothing happening the last week of the window. Spurs will revert to type, start bringing in players at the end, but it could be to our advantage. It could be players that come to us now. Suddenly their clubs realise they bought somebody else in and have to let a player go, and we can benefit from that. So I'd be absolutely gobsmacked if we don't bring in one, or possibly 2 more players.
Big up Auntie Ellie. Is this one of your relatives, Ellie?
Yes, my nephew Michael, and my
I love
nephew
that
Elias.
And Mick says, I'm good,
and
mate.
Bass.
And your Mick says, I'm good, mate. And your car. Is that Carl? Oh, Carl, sorry.
No.
And you, Carl, as well. So big up, Mick. Right, we're going into our second segment now. Tottenham Hotspur news, where we talk about transfer news, air all the news about Tottenham Hotspur.
Yes.
And I've got to start with this. I really do have to start with this. Harry Winks has now agreed to join Sampdoria on loan from Tottenham Hotspur for the 2022-23 season. I'll start with you, Philip, because I know Ellie will have a load to say in this. So, Philip, are you happy we've finally got Winky out the door?
I'm happy he's gone. It can't have been I know he's probably the most maligned player in the Spurs camp in a long, long time, and it can't have been easy for him. Let's face it. The guy that's gone from being an England international to being told to train with the kids, it's it's not easy. And while I'm glad he's gone, I wish him every success at Sampdoria for a number of reasons. One, there is a bit of a player in there somewhere. The Italian league might suit him better. It's slower paced. He'll have more time to pass sideways. But my main reason that I want him to do well is that if he does well in Sampdoria, they'll come back with a nice fat transfer fee next summer and buy him off us.
Yeah, exactly.
But saying that, I do wish him well. I have no animosity towards the guy. On a personal level, it's going to be a big change for him to go out and live in Italy. Total different lifestyle, different way of living. I hope he adapts. He comes back to us in time next summer to be sold back to Sampdoria for a huge fee.
Yeah, that's it. And you, Ellie, are you sad to see the Winky go?
I'm not sad to see him go. I'm sad for him because he never quite hit the mark. He never made the grade. And although Italy is a good place for him, I feel maybe he should have stayed in England, because I would have liked to seen if he could progress his career in the Premiership. Because he's going to Italy. It's a lot slower paced. Get more time on the ball, like Philip said. I like Philip because he gives him a compliment and said he's got more time to pass sideways.
You caught that on, did you?
I did. It was a bit of sarcasm, but I liked it. Right, but I wish him luck because he is a Spurs fan and he's a Spurs boy through and through. He came through the ranks. He just didn't quite hit the mark, and he didn't help himself. He should have passed forward a few more times. I mean, when he did pass forward,
Ellie, come on. He's known for doing the side passing sideways.
I know, sideways and backwards, sidewinder.
I mean, he must have played a lot of dominoes when he was not dominoes. It's not chess. What do you call the game you go over?
Drafts.
What do you call it?
Drafts.
He must have played a lot of drafts as a kid.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
He's always going sideways.
He was probably no good at that as well. Bit of sarcasm from me there, Phil.
I love this one. Your nephew's really funny. He said Winks is the only person that will pass sideways on a pen. And then we've got Paul Pablo, big up Paul Pablo. He says
it runs in the family.
Froest are coming in for Winks for 20 million. Well, I'll take 20 million for him.
Yeah. That's a good return.
It is.
You know.
And Carl Simpson saying, I don't know what you guys think about this. It says, I know it's not what everyone wants, but I guarantee you we get Torre. Do you think we will get him, guys?
Traore.
I'll start with you, Ellie, and don't go to you, Philip.
Adama, do you know what? Right, I think Conte can do something with him because he's got the athleticism. He just hasn't got the finished product at the end when he's running. He's a bit like a headless chicken when he runs, right? But he's got skill, the boy. It's just when he gets to that final ball, he lets you down, right? So I'm thinking Paratici has been scouting him for a long time, right? So obviously Conte's asked him to go and watch. So it'll be a Conte signing. He'll want him. And look, he's turned other players like Traore, even worse than Traore, into much, much better players. So I can see something there in Traore, and he's exciting to watch. That there's no doubt about that. He's an exciting beast of a man when you see him flying down that wing. And he's roasted our defence quite often, but it's just he just needs to get that final pass in. And I think if we get him, Conte will work on him and we'll see a better version of him. Yeah. Which, it's worth a punt, just put it that way.
It is. I mean, Philip, we've got Conboy85 says the Italian league isn't as slow as what people think. And it isn't, is it? It isn't as slow as people think. It's
slightly slower.
The Italian league for me is starting to come back, isn't it?
It isn't as quick as the Premiership. It's not as intense.
No,
so it might a little bit split second more timing on the ball,
They don't press as much as the Premiership. The Premiership, they're on your heels before you know it.
Yeah.
Did you see the goal he scored the other day, Philip, Mr. Burger King?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Make you want to pull out your hair, wouldn't it?
It actually reminded me a bit of Martin Chivers' goal in the 72 UEFA Cup final.
Yeah.
The goalie would have broke his hand if he got near it. It was just a bullet,
Yeah.
But you're talking about Traore there. I would say Traore. And you know what I think will happen if we do get Traore? Conte will convert him into a wing-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
He will. He'll work with him.
I'd say he could be very effective from that because he will, he'll start deep and run at play. Okay, as you say, his final ball isn't all what it should be. But under the right coaching, with a guy like Conte, if Traore can get his final ball to be a killer pass, that guy is nearly unstoppable. He's like Roadrunner, you know.
Philip, right, and Dermot, do you know what? All he has to do is get it up to the front. If he doesn't feel confident that he can beat the man, just pass it to Kulu. Kulu's got a sweet left foot. He can put it on a pin. So
can you
it
imagine
doesn't really matter that his crossing's not going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because he can pass it to Kulu.
Emerson has done okay with Kulu down the right. Can you imagine a right-sided attack of Kulu and Traore?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
If I was a left back, if I was the opposition left back, I'd phone in with Sicky that day.
Yeah. You could have a few broken limbs if you collide with them.
Boss, I can't play today. My great-grand aunt has just thrown the 60th birthday in Australia. I have to go over. I'm sorry. I will be back for the next game, but I'm just missing that.
I got the invite this morning.
Yeah. The Brotherhood game said, "Are you guys sad? Are you guys sad about Delhi?" I'm not. I think
I'm sad because he's wasted his talent.
I'm saying, yeah, exactly. I mean, that guy had the world at his feet, and now I don't know what happened to him. Well, he got the wrong advice, got in with the wrong crowd. They were turning his head. He got more interested in Fortnite than the Fortnite, whatever you call that game he was playing, than soccer. So, like going to Besiktas, okay, he'll probably be a national hero there until he fecks up, and then he'll be sorry he went there at all, because that's not an easy place to go.
No.
Yeah.
He goes there with the attitude he's had at Everton, and he won't last 10 games.
That's right.
I mean, Carl Simpson's put here, Kate, could you imagine Torre flying past Decky on the overlap?
Yeah, I tell you, that's the stuff of dreams. It really is.
Know. Do you know the Turkish league is a bloody tough league as well? They're real men in that league. They're flipping slice and dice you.
And Dele Alli is going to be a marked man because he's the flash guy coming in from England.
Yeah.
And unless he watches himself, you know.
The fans, right? If you're on your game, they will love you. But if you're off your game, they'll crucify you.
Yeah. Like you saw that there was hundreds of them at the airport to meet him there the other night, you know. They'll be putting him in the back of in the boot of a taxi and driving him back to the airport if he doesn't do well. You know?
Frank will be getting a phone call. There's a special delivery coming to you tomorrow morning from DHL. Can you make sure somebody's there to sign the forms for us, please?
Yeah.
The Dele Alli in there and a little wheelie bin sort of popping his head up. Hi, boss, I'm back. Corey Boyd says Everton done that so they don't have to pay us. I actually would agree that. I actually would, because Everton are in financial mess.
They might get 10 million for that. They might get 10 for that. You know?
Phil P, big up Ellie, Coys.
Yes.
And Ed M, big up Ed M, says, what I heard is Paratici discussed the Toure with Wolves, but would only take him if they took a player in turn. So basically, if they came out, if they can come out on the right side of a deal, this is all happening over a month ago.
So we've no one left to give them now. We've got rid of all the ones we wanted to get rid of.
Yeah. And Simon says, the other thing that frustrates me about this club is why do we buy a player and then loan him back out? Clearly, how is he playing so far? He could easily break into our squad. Well, that actually brings me on to the other bit of news, Philip, about Dead Spence and the rumours going around the club about him being unhappy. He didn't want to be loaned out, and apparently he's been banished from the first team. Do you believe all that rumours, or do you think it's just paper talk, just trying to make?
He's only at the club 5 minutes, for God's sake. You know, that's scurrilous. That's someone trying to create a problem where there isn't one. You know, I think that's no, couldn't be. I mean, I saw the training videos of the team yesterday. He was well in there with training with the rest of them. In fact, he was very good. He was scoring. They had an attack versus defense, and he was scoring to beat the band. So he was. So no, I don't believe that.
No,
it's just one of these many rumors that's going around. You know, I hope.
And Ellie, have you upgraded your iPhone 8? Paul Pablo wants to know.
I've got a Samsung Galaxy iPad. Well, it's a pad, not an iPad. I've got that, but I've got to set it all up. So I've still got my iPhone 8. I lost my iPhone 12 at the Liverpool game last year.
Oh dear.
So I need to get it replaced. So I'll be
Tell me
doing
the
that.
Scouts were pickpocketing in that game, were they?
They probably did, because somebody bumped into me and then my phone was miraculously gone.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
They
Ellie.
did.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
They're
probably
very good at that, them scouts.
They
Can I
are.
also just say very quickly, I meant to say at the start, my heart goes out to that little girl that was murdered up at Liverpool, Libya.
So they got a fella
Put my cross.
From everyone here on this channel, we send our thoughts and prayers to the family because it's
So
hard.
sad.
They arrested the guy for it
sad.
today, so they've got somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, guys. Fulham and Lazio are in talks to sign Tottenham left back Reguilon on loan, with the Serie A side having the option to buy. But what I've heard is that Fulham is in pole position. I'll start with you, Ellie. Do you think it's better that he goes to Fulham, or do you think for him to go back or go to another country and go to Italy because they've got the option to buy?
No, do you know what? I would like to see him stay at Fulham, go to Fulham, because he's a talent, Reguilon. He just lost his way. I think the training got to him, and I remember the Leeds game. He said, because it was the time when all the boys went over for their internationals, and he was interviewed, and he said it was like a killer training. And since then, he's just gone to pot. We haven't hardly seen him either. And the rumours around the club is that Conte he fell out with Conte or Conte fell out with him. We don't know if they're true. But if they are, it seems like he's not got a look in. So it fuels that notion that there was a rift between them, because he was in the team and then suddenly nowhere to be seen. And I just like him to stay in, because I actually like him as a player. I think he's a talent. He just lost his way.
Yeah.
He just lost his way. Maybe the training was too hard for him,
Maybe.
Because they're killer training.
It is killer training. And you, Philip, I mean, where do you think Reguilon would be better going? Fulham or Lazio?
Since you've done that graphic, I think Atletico Madrid have now moved into pole position.
Yeah, you said that before we went on. Yeah, I forgot to update that. Yeah,
I think personally, I don't want to see him stay in the Premiership with Fulham. I'd rather see him go back to Spain. I think he's better suited to the Spanish game. Again, I like him. He played football with a smile on his face. Nice, pleasant young lad. And whatever happened, we don't know. We might never know what happened. Something definitely didn't click with him with Conte.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him go back to Spain, where I think he'll make a success of his career.
Yeah.
He was very popular with the ladies. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave that. That's for Ellie's late night segment on Twitter when she talks about that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. X-rated Tottenham, huh?
Yeah,
X-rated Tottenham. Ellie's time as a Spurs player. All the stories.
Do you know what it is with Reguilon? It's so disappointing because he showed so much promise, didn't he, lads?
He did.
And then he just faded.
Well, there was no end product with him. He gets so far and then suddenly get nowhere. Hotspur's TV, big up Hotspur TV. I actually watched the show the other night. I enjoyed it very much. Big up, sir.
A good lad.
I still rate Reggie more than Cess.
So do I.
For me, look, I know Cess has had his problems. He's had his injuries, but I think there is a player in there. Conte will get out. But now we've got Perisic. I think we don't need 3 into 2 doesn't go. So I think you've got Perisic and you've got Sessi, and I think
Davies as well.
We've got Davies
as
well,
Longley.
who can fill into that left back if we go forward at the back. So I think it's time. I don't think he's in Conte's plans, and I think it's time for him to go. Quickly, Philip, what do you say to Hotspur's TV? Would you agree with him or?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I certainly, if you put those two players in front of me, ask them to tick the boxes, I think Reguilon does tick more boxes than Sessegnon. But Sessegnon obviously has got Conte's mark of approval, if you like, whereas Reguilon didn't for whatever reason. So from that view, so we have Sessegnon and we don't have Reguilon anymore. So
maybe he's a bit of a party boy, you know. Sometimes these young boys, it seems that way because of all, when he was seen at Lamella's house and Lo Celso, they had a nice click there. Maybe it did upset a few people at the club.
Didn't he break the COVID rules as well during COVID? Him and then I mean, I'm glad. Just to quickly go on to that, I'm glad we're getting these players out because if you look at last season, even before when we had to cancel that game because of COVID, the two players coming back from France, from Paris, and there seemed to be no. I think it's taking Conte a while to get his authority over the squad, over the first team, over the club. And I think it's taken, and I think now that him and Paratici have this authority, sort of Italian Godfather type people, that they will not step out of line. And if you do, you're gone. And I think that's what Conte's laid down.
4 players that were sidelined to train on their own, they're now all gone. Officially all but so far they're
all
gone.
I praise the club for doing that as well.
Yeah.
Look at the money he's been taking off the wage bill every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey Boy 85 says maybe banished or being sold for wanting mayo in club dinner.
I heard it was red sauce. Nothing red. Nothing red at the table.
No.
Yeah.
That's true. So for you, Ellie, and you'd be glad to see him go. Then there was a comment here which I think it's, don't know where it is now. Oh, here this is Carl Simpson. He said Reggie needs to go to Fulham and have a quality season, and we'll get 30 million for him. Do you guys agree with that?
We could do, because either 25 or 30, one of the two, because he's got market value, the boy, because he showed a lot of promise early doors.
Yeah.
And he was very exciting to watch him, right? And he was committed. And then he made that gaff when he owned gold, like he'd done a scissor kick and put it in his own net. And then since then, he sort of slided down and down and down and down until we never saw him. He never got picked.
I think if the pace of the Premiership was his problem, what's the point in going to Fulham? He's going to have the same exposure again. So I think he's better off going to Spain.
I get your point now. I do get your point.
I think so.
Wouldn't want to see the Fulham and make a balls of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here is a Mile High Hotspur. It says, big up my homies. Hope you're all well. Ellie, how's the cat?
He's sleeping just right to my left.
Right. We've got a bit of injury news for the game on Saturday. This is another segment. This is same injury. We'll go through all the injuries for the team before the big match on Saturday. Romero and Skip are out for the game with Notts Forest. Now, Philip, Romero wanted to come back for this game, but the Conte said to him, no, you have to come back. And Skip is out as well. Are we going to really miss Romero for this game on Saturday, or do you think we'll have too much quality to...
Romero wanted to come back for the Wolves game, if truth be told, but he obviously wasn't fit. Like, what I like about that is he obviously wants to play. He's anxious to get playing. He's shown a bit of passion. Of course, any team would miss Romero, absolutely. But the thing is, I don't think the Forest attack. Okay, I'm not just doing Forest any disservice here, but there's a young lad called Brendan Johnson who's a tasty enough forward, son of David Johnson, played for Forest. But I really think Dyer, Sanchez, and Davis, and maybe Longley should be able to cope with what Forest can throw at us tomorrow. So put it like this, I'd rather Romero was back for West Ham on Wednesday. We're going to need him more against West Ham than we do against Forest. So, from that point of view, sit him out tomorrow or on Sunday.
Yeah. And that was Carl Simpson's point, Ellie. He said, do you risk Romero with West Ham on Wednesday?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Yeah. I think you should, Ellie. Should we? should we risk him on Wednesday?
It depends on his fitness, how Conte sees it. If Conte feels that he's not ready, he's not going to blood him again, is he? He's going to go with Sanchez. So Conte knows if they're fit enough, because they do fitness tests before when they've been injured and they've come back anyway. And our fitness test is probably the most stringent one, I would imagine, with Conte. So the thing is, do you risk him and then lose him for another 4 or 5, 6 matches? You know,
I think what Carl's saying there is you don't risk him at the weekend, but bring him in against West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
what
that would be a better plan for me. So.
Maybe if he's fit enough for the Forest game, because if he's out for 3 weeks, that's quite a long time not to play an actual competitive match. You know, so
he's not fit for Forest. He's definitely out on Sunday. So.
No, he's definitely out.
But they say that, but then he made himself available, and then they say no, you're not. So they must have done a fitness testing on him then, Philip. They must have.
How it went early was big up William for popping in. We'll get to you in 2 seconds. What happened was
he's driving somewhere.
He always looks cool. He's always in the sun there. It's really annoying.
I know. He's in Australia.
What happened was that the medical, he went into Conte and he wanted to play, but the medical team wouldn't let him play, basically. Because he said he was out for 3 weeks.
Right, but normally they do a fitness test, don't they, to see if you're well enough.
Yeah, but apparently he was out for 3 weeks, but he just keeps asking, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play.
Yeah.
So it's the medical
He's that
team.
type of character as well, isn't he?
It is.
Bloody play me, you git.
I play Longley tomorrow on Sunday.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him, really, only in pre-season.
I mean, I'm quite startled by the man below me with his sunglasses on. Look, he looks like something out of Miami Vice.
Shall I go
in the car?
I'm going to switch off the cameras because you're so upset, Dermot.
No, you're grand. You can keep on the camera. I
got to drive to work. So I'll switch the camera off, but I can still talk.
No, you're grand. You leave the camera on. You're grand. You're grand. You look
not when I'm driving, Dermot. Do you want the Australian police to pull me over and do me?
Yeah,
well, that would be something on this channel.
We'll give you an alibi. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, then you might see a fucking lunatic Irishman go mad.
You just look like Don Johnson out of Miami Vice, William. That's what you look like.
We've got 3 Irishmen and a Greek lady.
That's it.
There's a film in that somewhere along the line, isn't there, Ellie?
Yeah.
3 weddings in the funeral.
Yeah. So,
oh my
William,
God, I nearly choked on my water.
Thoughts on Sunday for against Froest. Do you think we'll win?
Yeah. Of course we will.
Yeah. William, are you there?
Come on, Philip. Yes, I'm
here. Yeah.
That was to you, sir. Do you think we'll win on Sunday?
Sorry.
No, you're right, Philip. You're right.
Yeah. Did you hear about the new signing?
What new signing?
He's called Donkey. Because he can go in with the other donkeys in the fence.
Is that the Korean guy, Don?
I'm only joking. No, I think we'll win. I think we'll have too much for them up front.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still nervous. I'm always nervous when Sanchez and Davies and Dyer take the field, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Longley might replace one of them on Sunday now.
I hope so. I hope so. Definitely.
He's got to play him sometime. We didn't bloody get him from Barcelona just to put him on the bench.
Yeah, that's true, Ellie. Yeah.
Jed Spence will be in the squad on Sunday, I've no doubt, because if only, that is local knowledge of the team. Mind you, there have been 17 players signed since he left them, so he doesn't know many of them, many of the ones that are left at all.
I mean, I was
I
going
like
to go.
Carl Simpson's comment.
I have got that down as a question, Philip. Actually.
Oh, well, sorry.
No, you've ran, Philip. Will is on the set of the new series of Hawaii 5-0.
Oh my God.
That'll be Tottenham 5-0. That's the score on Sunday.
You know, we get everything from
I'll do the music.
on the injury point, Moore and Gill may be in the match day squad as well. So
That's right.
with the thing,
Well, Gill isn't
we're
going
to
anywhere
that
till we
one.
sign a replacement for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gill is going to Valencia, but not until we sign somebody. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to this one for that, and you make a very good point. The Nottingham Forest manager has signed 17 players
Jesus.
this summer. And I'll start with you, then I go to William, then I go to you, Eddie. I mean, 17 players. I mean, surely to God, haven't they spent more than most people in Europe? I think
They have, yeah. They're spending the parish, they're spending the big bucks they got for getting up. I'll tell you one thing. I'd love to be in a Nottingham Forest team meeting. They'll all have name badges on to introduce themselves to each other, you know. I think he's trying to get into the Guinness Book of Records there. 17 signings in one close season. How the hell can you knit 17 players together in the space of a month? You just can't do it. You cannot do it. That's what I use my cake analogy again. What Conte's doing is starting the ingredients slowly, putting one in at a time, and then the mixture at the end is the finished article. Jesus Christ, it'd be a big cake, Cooper's baking if you put 17 players into it. You know, it's just I don't know, it's madness.
I mean, William, if Conte had signed 17 players, how would you feel? But do you feel
I'd be worried. I would be extremely worried because, like what Philip said, you can't knit 17 players together in a pre-season. It's just not possible.
See, it's 18 now. They're signing Serge Aurier.
Oh yeah, I hope he's playing.
Oh God!
Took him a time to find a new club, didn't it?
No, he was someone last season to let him go.
I'm not surprised.
He'd been on one big party.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's probably given away too many. Every time that man got near to the box, I used to just hide behind the sofa because you knew he was going to give away a free kick, a penalty, or something.
Yeah.
Ellie, 17 players from Nottingham Forest. They've spent, I think they're the third most in Europe out of all the European leagues. Now, could it go for them? Could they actually stay up? You know, and be actually and finish quite well. I love the bus going behind you, Ellie. I really did.
Yeah.
Did the right time bus.
The thing is, I'm with Phil and William on this one because it's impossible to have 17 new players and have some sort of continuity. And what does that tell the 11 that got up?
Yeah.
They must be thinking, bloody shit, you know, we killed ourselves to get ourselves up. You took the words out of my mouth, Phil. You know, if I'm a Nottingham Forest player in that first 11 who got our team up and then I've seen one after the other coming in, I'd be sick to my stomach, you know, and I'd think, what's the manager playing at? You know, five or six.
17 players as well. 17 players, like what's the quality of those players?
And a bench, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a whole team and a bench extra. Nah, I would feel really aggrieved if I was one of those first 11. Even the bench players, I'd feel aggrieved. You know, if you were getting 20 minutes, 30 minutes here and there. I don't know what Cooper's on.
Well, Tom here said problem with Forest had a lot of loan players last season.
But that's exactly what the problem was. Yeah. A lot of them went back.
Yeah, but
that's
how many went back?
That's their fault, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You got to be careful who you're loaning in and what's happening. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's complaining about our transfer window, and I just want to put this out. I think it's been a good window. We need the centre backs, we need the cam, but it's been one of our best windows for a while.
Look, it's been good to a point, Dermot. But the sticking point for me is that central defensive area has always been a problem. They knew this from the start. You know, they knew this from the start. Conte complained about it at the start, and they haven't fixed it.
Not yet.
Starting a season with the same three at the back that hooked up so many games last season for us. And for the last, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it's the same guys. Like, you know as well as I do, following football, that you have to keep moving things around. You have to keep moving people out and moving people in. Otherwise, you become too predictable and too stale, you know?
It was like Philip and you. I remember you would remember it, Philip Ellie and you as well. Well, the Liverpool sides of the 70s and 80s.
Oh,
What was
yes.
it? 2 out, Philip?
Fantastic.
1 in, something like that every season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no
But
doubt.
look at Man United. Man United were the same. Alex Ferguson used to do the same thing. He used to refresh that side every season.
Yeah.
I mean, Philip.
But he used to do it. Sorry, Dermot. He used to do it with top class players.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of the Tottenham fans are saying. Why aren't we going after Milinkovic-Savic? He's a top class midfielder. He would change that midfield in a heartbeat for us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why aren't we chasing the likes of him? Why aren't we putting everything into it and getting him? It would take a lot of pressure off that back line.
Yeah.
Why isn't it happening?
Do you know what as well I'd like to add to that? If we've got, say, 1 point out of 9 or even 2 points out of 9, what would their thinking be then? Would they be thinking, bloody hell, we've got to get someone in and sharp? Because we've got 7 out of 9. It's like they've gone on the back burner. And they're thinking, if we need somebody, we're going to do it right at the very end.
I'd be more worried if we got 1 point out of 9. I'd be more worried. I'd be watching the quality of what they bring in. If you're 1 point out of 9, at 1 point from 9, you're more likely to make a panic buy.
Yes,
it turns out to be the wrong buy. So I still think we're going to bring in a centre back. We've obviously tried to get certain players, and for whatever reason that they don't want to come, they don't want to leave where they are. Their agent probably isn't getting the big enough commission.
I still think it's money, Philip. I still think it's money. I think this club is always being held back by not paying the wages and not paying the money.
Yeah, but I think what we should do is we'll sit down, we'll judge it after the 1st of September. And if we haven't,
most definitely,
back, there's going to be a lot of very disappointed people out there. But I have every
get that centre back.
We're going to sign a centre back.
Well, that's the most important position, the centre back.
I'll definitely be becking upset. I've got $1,000 on him to win the Premiership.
Yeah, what's your return?
Reason to be upset.
Yes,
I
honestly thought they were going to go out and buy. When I seen them buy Perisic and Basuma, I went, right, they're making business. They're going to get a right wing back. They're going to get a central defender or maybe 2. They're definitely going to go and get a midfielder. And they haven't done it. And I'm like,
I know. It's
well, they're going to buy $1,000.
Don't worry. Yeah, you're a brave man putting that much. Can you put each way on it? They win the cup.
It's a bit late now. It's a bit late now. I don't think the bookies are that nice.
Was that your clairvoyant who told you to place that bet, Will?
No, that was I decided to do that because I believe in Conte. And wherever he goes, his second season, he seems to pull it out. Even, look what he did with Chelsea. They were bloody 10th. You know what I mean? Yeah, look what he did with them. And you think about it. Look at the start that Liverpool have made. You know, you can see they're struggling in midfield big time. They've got a lot of injuries. If they get really far behind, they're going to find it hard to catch up again. And you're basically dealing with Manchester City, and of course, Manchester City are a beast of a team. But something tells me this Premiership is going to be a little bit weird, where you're going to see Manchester City maybe lose a few more games than they did last year, which I think they only lost 3 games, 2 against us, 1 against Crystal Palace. But I think they're going to drop points a little bit more because there's teams like Newcastle that show that they're good enough to be up there too, you know. So it's going to be a tough Premiership. Yeah, it's going to be a tough Premiership, I think, this year.
World Cup is going to have a big effect on this Premiership. Because you could be top of the league in November and come back in December and your players got injured at the World Cup, or suddenly team gets a loss of form. So it's going to be very unpredictable this season. Very unpredictable.
It really will. And we've just hit 590. We're 10 away from 600. So everyone, please
come on,
hit that subscription button.
10 more subscriptions.
Let's get to 600 before the end of this show tonight.
Yes.
Guys, I'll start with you, William. Then I'll go you, Philip. And hope you don't mind me going to you last, Ellie, on this question. And then I'll switch it around. Sorry, Ellie.
No problem. Don't have to apologise.
I mean, is everyone overreacting with him not playing well at the start of the season? Or do you think we just need to chill out and it will happen because he is a class player?
Who's that for?
I was going to start with William and then go to you, Philip.
Was that Son you were talking about, Dermot?
I mean,
Son will come good. I'm not worried about Son, but I just think if a player is playing a bad game for a couple of games, and you buy players like Richarlison to take those positions, then give Richarlison a chance. You know what I mean? Give him a chance. Play him against Nottingham Forest. Why not? Honestly, I think Son should play against Nottingham Forest because I do think that Tottenham's pace will rip them to shreds at the back. So I would start with Son, but if he's not playing well by half time, I would bring Richarlison on. I really would. And I know a lot of Tottenham fans get upset when you say, drop Son, but these players need to understand that they're in a team. And there's other players behind them that want a chance. And if you're not performing, well, then so be it.
Yeah.
I mean, Philip, do you think some of this fan base just overreact for the sake of overreacting?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think with Son being John top scorer last season, that it's probably took a lot out of him, like it did with Harry Kane last season? Maybe it's just a slow start.
Harry Kane didn't start playing until November last season. Son has had 3 games. He hasn't really.
You there, Philip?
Is he frozen?
I don't know if he.
Go out and come back in.
I'll go
Philip
to you,
done
Ellie.
a ghost. Philip done a ghost.
It's the Son effect.
Yeah. Ellie, the same question to you, basically. Do you think some of these fan base react?
Son, I keep using the comments.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back and then he's gone.
He's gone. He's gone.
Am I back?
It's lightning hit.
No, form is temporary, class is permanent. Although I'll tell you one thing that worried me slightly. I watched the training video that the club released there today. And what it was, they were doing a goalkeeper, a defender, and an attacker. The goalie would throw the ball for the attacker, and he had to get past the defender to score the goal. Son didn't get past his defender once in the 5 times they tried it. Harry Kane did it 4 times. Brian Hill did it every time. And even Jed Spence did it a couple of times. And I just thought, Son, if he's not doing it in training, there's something just not right with him at the minute. And it will come good. We just have to be patient and not jump on his back for having a couple of bad games. For Christ's sake, the guy was a machine last season. You can't.
Yeah, but what I was saying earlier on, Philip, was I'm not jumping on his back. All I'm saying is if you've got other guys in the squad, then use them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't commenting on you. What you said, William. I agree.
Yeah. I'm not having a go at Son. This is the thing. But some people think I am having a go at Son. I'm just saying, if he's not playing well, give him a rest.
Yeah, you're being honest.
Play Richarlison. You can see Richarlison is biting at the bit to get in there. Give him a go, man. That's what you bought him. 60 million sitting on the bench,
Look at the amount of matches we've got coming up soon.
Yeah.
These players are going to have to be rotated.
Yes.
No way Son playing every game from now on. No way.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellie, what do you say to Super Tottenham here? He says, I'm big up Super Tottenham, and please, get up to his channel. It is very good. There's some great stuff on there, and he's got a lot of Tottenham tunes on there as well. Some of the old stuff, so get over there. It's a brilliant channel. He said we should start with Richarlison as he deserves a chance. It's not called dropping Son; it's called rotating, as Philip and William have both said.
Yes.
It's a long old season ahead, so all players need to play for fitness and confidence. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. Do you agree with that? And what do you say to Super Tottenham to that comment, Ellie?
I agree with him, because Son's been off, right? And 3 games. It's not been 1 game. It's been 3 games, right? So I know the boy will come good, but he needs a bit of a shot up the jacksie, doesn't he? He needs somebody to come. He needs somebody to come in like Richarlison, show him that he should be performing better. Richarlison gets his chance if he takes it with both hands, and performs. Then he'll keep his place, because football is a bitch of a game. If you don't perform, whoever you are, even Harry Kane, if he has 4 or 5 bad games, why would we keep him in the side if, say, Sonny comes back in the side and he's banging them in and Kane doesn't? So nobody's. They say Kane is not droppable, but if he's doing the same as Son, I wouldn't want him in the team either, because he's bringing the team down. We need players who are hungry.
But we had Kane not pulling his weight, and he still got on the field. You know what I mean?
That was last season.
Yeah.
That was last season under Nuno. This is Conte's reign.
But then everybody wasn't pulling their weight.
Yeah, it's unlikely that Kane will ever be dropped. We know this. He's the Messiah. But Son...
Drop Conte a few quid, it might drop him.
But Son, right, he's not just been off, he's been right off. It's not just a little bit off, he's been right off. And we saw that in 3 games last season as well. But then he came good. So maybe Conte will give him the benefit of doubt. And then maybe at half-time, if he's not doing it, pull him off after 5 or 10 minutes, in the second half. That's what I would do.
Sorry, Ellie, I've just had a clap of thunder. I think that's Dave coming from there to chase me, because I've just said about Conte being dropped. So just mind your window. Harris Dave might just drop behind you.
I don't think
Thor himself is coming after you.
He's never going to be dropped, is he? Come on. He's the king of Spurs.
I mean, Philip, I go with you there. When you look at Man United on Monday, Ten Hag dropped that useless article, Maguire and Ronaldo. But he did it in front of everyone. He did it in front of the whole squad. Apparently, they had a meeting and they said, right, you can say what you want to say and nothing will be done about it. And he publicly dropped the pair of them. Do you think, we all know about Conte's passion, Philip, and his sort of military sort of drive of you do what I say when I say, more like you jump and you say how high. Do you think that is actually a good thing? Or do you think he has to handle Son with sort of kid gloves? But
I think dropping a player, it was a fairly brutal thing that then Ten Hag did, all right. But it had the desired effect. The performance United put in against Liverpool, I don't think that's Conte's style. Conte's more hands on the shoulder, in my office for a one-to-one chat. I think that's the way he'd do it. And that's probably the best way of doing it, because although that United dressing room is so fractured and so there's so many cliques in that dressing room that he's got a big job on breaking those up. Once he does that, he's got the makings of a decent squad there. But I wouldn't go and publicly drop someone. It's pretty humiliating, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Club captain,
Yeah, I know. When I heard it, I sort of laughed and I thought I couldn't say Conte doing that. But we just quickly, before we go on to our another segment, last segment, Conte's press conference, we do have an old game to play, and I want to know in the comments if you want us to show it or not. So that is down to you. So let us know in the comment if you want us to show. It's 23 minutes long. It's Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest from 82-83. And just let us know if you want to show. So yes or no in the comments. And then after the press conference, if you're still there, we'll put it on. Just a quick question. I'll start with you, Ellie, and then I'll go to you, Philip, then you, William, last. I'll do it first. Tottenham's performances, 7 points out the first 3 games. Okay, we haven't played brilliant in the first half against Wolves, but got all 3 points. It's games against Chelsea as well and Southampton. Do you think that we're going to get better and better now as the season goes on now?
Yeah.
Do you think, and also, do you think with the season started earlier, do you think that's why our performances haven't been so good?
Yeah, I heard a lot of fans saying it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, that is bloody true, because we started badly in a lot of all 3 games, but in the Southampton game we were awesome in the second half. We were on them like a fly on. Well, I'm not going to say it on air, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And we had so much.
No, Ellie,
intensity.
I don't know what you mean. Sorry.
I got the mental picture. I got the
You
mental
got the
picture.
mental picture. But
Yeah, so have I, William.
we had so much intensity in that Southampton game. I was hoping to see that at the Chelsea game, and it didn't materialise. We were flat, and we got overrun, and we were chasing the game, and they were
But that was
the ball.
tactical, though, Ellie. That was tactical.
Yeah, but
Tuchel's
you can
tackles,
still.
he nullified everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can still compete, William. We weren't competing. We weren't getting anywhere near their players.
But you got to understand too. In a game like that, where Tottenham haven't won at that stadium very many times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
You're going in with a mentality. See, the problem for Tottenham there is they've got this mentality that we're going to Stamford Bridge, we're going to bloody lose, you know? And it's hard to break that mentality. By drawing
that's up to the manager to get their mental state right.
It's hard, though. It's hard because Chelsea believe that they can beat Tottenham every time. You know what I mean? So they're going to be up for it more than you are. It's very, very hard to break that.
At Stamford Bridge, I agree with you, but we could have given them a little bit more of a game by pressing them like they were pressing us. We could have competed because apparently we've got the fittest squad in the Premiership, but it didn't show up in that game. We had the.
But do you know what? Sorry, Ellie. Do you know what? Sorry, Ellie. Do you know what I think? And this is just a synopsis I've come up with from watching Tottenham in the first 3 games. And I think, that training regime.
Snob?
No, synopsis.
No. Synopsis.
I thought you were calling yourself a snob. Sorry.
I was sounding very snobby.
No, you sounded all right.
Thanks for ruining it, Dermot. I was on fire.
Come on, we want to hear this synopsis.
Sorry.
But what I genuinely think is when you're put through such a rigorous training regime that Conte did with them, it takes time for that fitness to pick up and recover. And if you actually remember in one of his press conferences, he did say that, it's going to take time for the players to get used to this. And once they do, it'll take them a couple of games. And I think what we've seen is those couple of games where they've been slower and it's taken them time to pick up that energy. But when they get in full flight, I think you're going to see a Tottenham that will really crush teams this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope so. Because they've got it in them. They've got the skill.
There's no doubt about that.
They've got enough skill in the team. Because you've got Kulu, you've got Sonny, you've got Kane. If Kane drops and becomes a number 10, we're even better when he drops in that midfield. Because he sprays past left, right and centre, and he's accurate as well.
He is. Philip, what do you say to Super Tottenham's question here? He says Spurs played well against Southampton, poor against Chelsea, got lucky at the end of the first half versus Wolves. We were poor again. Second was better, but not brilliant. What do you say to him on that?
That's like a school report card.
Yeah. Could do better.
Could do better. Like, the thing about it is, Chelsea, William's point is spot on. It's a psychological thing with Chelsea. It really is. We lost there 3 times last season without even breaking sweat nearly. So same thing nearly happened this season, but we got our act together in the second half. Wolves is a difficult one. Wolves beat us. We were at that Wolves game. Don't want to remind ourselves of it.
God.
Wolves,
I'm getting bad.
Getting that eye twitch again. The eye twitch is going.
They did the same. They nearly did the same thing to us last Saturday, but didn't. Because Conte is so 5 or 6 months further on with that team. Yeah. And while we would have lost that match last season, we did not lose it this season. And the tactical tweaks that were made at half time turned the game on its head. Inside 30 seconds of the second half, we were at it. Yeah. And we kept it that way for most of the second half. So all I can see is teams are going to crowd out on midfield. And that's the worry. If you get players, they're going to Forest on Sunday will no doubt play 3 in the middle, outnumbering our 2. So it's up to the fullbacks and the wing backs to tuck in, create the extra, assistance for the 2 boys in the middle. And let's face it, our superior front line should be more than enough to beat Forest. And that's another 3 points on the board. We then have West Ham. It's their cup final. God help them. No points on no goals scored at the moment. Are they saving it up for Spurs on Wednesday night? You can bet your ass they'll try to.
Yeah.
Because those 2 away games, we then have full
there.
We could be in a fantastic position by the first week in September.
Yeah.
We could have 14 points, 16 points out of a possible 18. And that ain't bad.
Yeah.
Then we've got Manchester City. Then we'll see how we're doing. That's a real acid test of how we're progressing. Is how we do against Man City away.
What you said about the wing backs tucking in, we did exactly what Chelsea did to us when we played Liverpool away. We gave Emerson a free roll and he was tucking in and he was all over the place. You saw him on the left, you saw him on the right, you saw him in the middle. He wasn't holding his position because he knew Romero was just behind him and that he could cope. And then Bentancur and Højbjerg, they were more progressive as well, and then Dyer had a particularly good game and Davies had a particularly good game. That game, Liverpool away, was just as good tactically as the one when we played at home when we drew 2-2.
It was brilliant. We should have beat them.
Fantastic.
And it actually cost Liverpool the title. It cost Liverpool the title as well.
Yeah.
Look, my whole thing at the start of the season, yes, we haven't been brilliant, but we're picking up points.
Yeah.
That's more than what we were doing last season. We've got points. We've got one more point than we did in all games against Chelsea last season. We've got the 3 points. We revenged the defeat from the last home game against Wolves, and we got that back. And we also beat Southampton. So we're already 7 points better off than we were last season.
The performances will come. The performances will come, but make sure you win and pick up the points. What was it George Graham used to always say about cup finals? Win them. Yeah. No matter what. Who cares? Just win them.
It's the old Kevin Costner saying from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. Conte is building it and the points will come.
For me, I think, personally myself, I think we're in our generation of having Bill Nick at the club. And that's my own, that's how I feel. That we're living through our Bill Nick time.
Yeah.
And I think so. Carrie Boy, he said he would love to come on and chat. We can't tonight because we've got a sort of plan. But if you want to pop on to the watch along on Sunday and watch the game with me and Ellie, you're more than welcome. And I'll send you the thing through Twitter if you need to get hold of us, myself or Philip or Ellie. All our things are on the YouTube channel, and we'll sort you out and we'll get you on Sunday. Carry Boy. All right.
I was going to say, you can send me the link as well, Dermot, but I think the match is at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh,
well, we won't want to disturbing you, Will, in case
you'll have your sleeping mask.
No. I'll be up watching it. I'll be watching it. I couldn't care less. If it's at 3, sometimes I have to watch the match at 3:30. So it's just that I have Luke, and he'll be asleep in the bed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wake him, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But Carrie Boy will sort you out and we'll get you on with me and Ellie and on Sunday to watch the game with us. So I hope that's okay.
Epic.
I'm missing the match I'm missing the match on Sunday as I have my 3-year-old grandson's birthday party to go to. So
nice.
Yeah, lovely.
You'll have your iPhone with you, though, won't you, to check
the
score?
I'm sort of officially looking at it.
Yeah.
Right, we're going into another new segment of the show, Conte's press conference. Now, with this the questions that were asked Conte, I'm going to ask the panel first, let them get their thoughts on it, and then we'll see what Conte has to say. And then we'll see if the panel or the chat have the same ideas as the Conte. So we'll start with the first one. I'll start with you, Philip, with this one. I'm going to ask you all individually, so I hope that's okay. can you confirm that they asked them? Can you confirm the Spurs have received bids for Reguilon or Harry Winks? Now, with Winks, we know going to Sampdoria, Philip, and we know Reguilon could be going to Atletico Madrid. Do you think Conte would be happy to get rid of these players out of the squad, out of the team, out from under his feet?
Well, I think by the fact that he wouldn't let them train with the first team pretty much answers that question. But it'll be they're 2 loans, so we'll have to. They will technically they're still Tottenham players, but they'll be off the payroll. Well, I presume we pay some of their wages. I don't know how those loans things work, but yes, he probably will confirm that Winks has had a bid. I think maybe at the time of the press conference, Reguilon was looking at Fulham or who was it? Who's the other team that were looking for him? Inter Milan? No. Anyway, Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid.
No, it was not. It was a foreign team. Was it Inter Milan? No, I don't know. Anyway, it looks like Atletico Madrid will get him now. So he may not have known about that at 2:00 when he had the press conference, but he'd be very diplomatic anyway. He wouldn't be saying. He wouldn't be doing that at Ten Hag and telling them, no, I don't want them boys out anywhere near the club.
Well, I just think Ten Hag, I keep going back, I think Ten Hag is, I don't know if he's brilliant or he's just a fool, because you're probably going to big up Tom, hit the likes button.
He's Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad. That's who he is.
Yeah.
You had to do it, Dermot.
Ten
Hag had to do it.
Yeah, but could you imagine Ronaldo? You imagine Ronaldo throwing his toys out the pram after that? I mean, that would have been hilarious to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd give Ronaldo a headbutt and tell him to go fuck himself. Ten Hag's job was on the line. He had to do it. He
probably would, William.
Yeah, I think people are a little bit disrespectful towards Ten Hag, to be quite honest with you. I think he's a pretty good manager. Like, people are laughing at him and joking, but he's been put in a situation where not many people want to go, to Man United because of that dressing room. But what he proved was he done the right thing by publicly shaming these knob jockeys. Because, to be quite honest with you, Ronaldo doesn't want to be there. Harry Maguire has been an absolute disgrace. Every game he makes a mistake. He's a shocker. So I think what Ten Hag did was the right thing. Yeah. And what it did is it showed those players, the rest of those players in that team, if you don't buck up, you're out of here. You're going to start. They're going to start dropping people and doing the right thing. Sometimes you got to be hard like that. You got to be ruthless, because if you're not ruthless, like Conte actually made that comment before. He said, if you have people that start getting discontent in your squad, he said, you're going to lose that squad. You know what I mean? Very quickly. Yeah. Mutiny. That's what happens to a lot of teams.
I mean, Philip and William and Ellie, you look at what Fergie did with Man United over them years. You look at. I mean, even Ferguson for 26 years, he ruled that club with an iron fist. Yeah. Bill Nick did it in the 60s. I mean, he did it. Yeah. We talked about the other night about how harshly he got rid of Jimmy Greaves. I mean, you have to be a tough manager to run a big club. Spurs is a big club. Conte is the right manager. And don't forget, we were after Ten Hag last summer. Yeah. He was one of the managers.
Do you know what the difference? Do you know what a big difference was between the eras of Bill Nick and Alex Ferguson? And it wouldn't have affected Ferguson quite as much. It wouldn't have affected Bill Nick quite as much. Though they were managing purely homegrown players at that stage, with a very few exceptions in Man United. And you were treating, everyone had pretty much the same mindset, the same mentality. You're now dealing with players, different style of living, different style of being brought up, different style of doing things from different countries. And it's very, very hard to manage them. Very hard to manage. If you've 6 or 7 different...
and then you've got all the social media and all the
exactly. It's a whole different
throw all that in.
You're a man manager as well as a football manager at the moment. You've got to,
got to be a psychologist as well.
Exactly, got it in one.
You've got their agents as well.
Find out what they're thinking. Whereas before, you knew what they were thinking. Now you don't.
I know.
And I mean, this is Conte's answer, for the Reguilon. For sure, there are players that go out. then we need players to come in. The club know very well the importance for me to have a squad with a couple of players in every roles. For sure, we want
Yeah,
to.
He's not happy, Dermot. He's not happy.
No.
He's not finished. He wants
No.
more.
No.
He's
Yeah,
always
he
wanted
does.
more.
And
He laid out a plan to them. He told them what players he wanted, what positions, and I think central defence was a main issue for him, and he still hasn't got that central defender. You know,
No.
do you know what?
and there's
I
another
agree.
midfielder. There's definitely another midfielder in there to come in.
Yeah, because he said it himself. He goes, if one player goes out, I want one player back.
That's
said
why they
it.
won't let Brian Hill go. Brian Hill won't go to Valencia until he's replaced.
Yeah.
And can I just say something? The Don, as I said earlier on Dave's show, the Don will do his job. So the Don will be all surprised deadline day night when we get a few more.
I won't hold my breath. I won't hold my breath.
Ed M says getting Maguire and Shaw out of the team beat the best thing he done. Give them a chance. Saw with his own eyes they should never have been allowed to put a United shirt on.
Yeah. Because Shaw was carrying a lot of weight.
You heard what Mourinho is such a clever guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He walked into clubs and he pointed out who the bad apples were. What did he say about that Shaw?
Yeah.
He said he wasn't good enough.
Wasn't
what
good
did he say
enough,
about
and he's
Dele
not
Alli when he
fit
walked
enough.
into the club? He said Dele Alli was lazy and didn't train properly.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to what Mourinho says, you can easily see that he'll point out the problems for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
and he
actually,
said about Aurier as well, didn't he?
Here's a question for you all,
give
actually.
a shit penalty away.
Yeah. Here's a question for all, and I'll start with Philip, and then Ellie or Will can go next. Philip, Mourinho, should we have listened to him more than what we did? Do you think if the club had listened to Mourinho on the likes of Dele Alli and Aurier, and imagine if he stayed to the end of that season and won the League Cup, do you know what I mean? Do you think we probably wouldn't have got Conte, but do you think we could have won the league under Mourinho?
No, we couldn't have won the league. No, but we could have won the League Cup. I mean, sacking him 4 days before a final, still, I cannot get over that. I mean, that was the most
disgraceful
stupid thing to do. Really, it more or less handed the cup to Manchester City on a plate. Okay, sack him the day after the final if you want to, but what's the difference in 5 days or 4 days?
I don't think Mourinho was the problem. I think it was his assistant, by all accounts.
Yeah, they didn't like him.
Yeah,
there's a bit of a mouth.
I've heard that quite a bit now. That the assistant was the one that the players fell out with a lot.
Mr. Sacramento.
I don't think Mourinho was the problem. I think a lot of players, like you look at Son and Kane, they all loved Mourinho. They really enjoyed Mourinho. Mourinho's a very clever man. He's very clever. But it was like what Philip said. It was disgraceful what they did to him. Yes, he would have won that final. I guarantee you he would have won that final.
It wasn't a good. Okay, listen, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like, certainly, I do believe we weren't a fit team under Mourinho. The training methods were not anywhere near as severe enough, to be honest. We were unfit, and it showed. And the fact that we ended up with Ryan Mason for the rest of the season. No offense to Ryan Mason, but we should have let Mourinho at least see the season out. Then we might have been spared the Nuno debacle. We might have got somebody better. Because the vibes that were sent out by the sacking of Mourinho, that's why we were turned down by so many players. They said, so many managers. I'm not going to that place. It wouldn't last 5 minutes under leaving. So it's more harm than good by sacking Mourinho. He did a lot of harm. And it's only now been rectified, the fact that Conte has come to us and doing such a great job.
Yeah. I mean, Ellie, Tom says it takes a manager of a big stature, big status like Mourinho to call out players like Conte. These days, because players have a lot more power these days than they did in the olden days.
Yeah,
and that sort of goes on to the next point of the next question that he was asked in the press conference. Are you concerned that Son has not scored yet? And I'll just give you one response, Ellie, to what he said, and I'll let you go on then from that. It says there are players that are in the plan and other players we want to try to give them a possibility to play more regularly and to take more time to play. I repeat, we're trying to find the best solution. You know very well we are talking about a really, really important player for me and for the club. For sure, I think Sonny in the last 3 games had chances to score, but there was a moment when I couldn't get everything in. But do you think Conte is just gently putting the arm around the shoulder of Sonny and just saying to him, it will come?
Yeah, it is. Because what I read into that is that he absolutely adores Sonny and he wants to give him the benefit of the doubt. But he also saying that there are other players on the periphery. If he doesn't start backing up his ideas, this is how I see it. He's thinking the other players deserve a chance as well, you know, because obviously he adores Sonny. You know that. I mean, when he took him off and he was giving him a hug, and the first player he normally goes to after the match is Sonny, because he's a lovable person as well. He's not just a footballer. He's a lovely, he's a lovely guy as well. And you just warm to him. But I just feel that he's going to give him time. But if he doesn't get those goals, then he's saying there's other players on the periphery that need the chance as well. That's how I see it.
Which he means Richarlison.
Yeah, which he means Richarlison. Yeah, because he's the only one, really. Because we
I'd still start with Son. I'd still start with Son against Nottingham Forest.
I would as well.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. He doesn't score 23 goals and then 3 games later drop it.
Just say the scenario was the Son didn't play well in the first half. Like what Ellie said, I'd give him 5-10 minutes in the second half, see if he bucked up his idea. If he didn't, I'd take him off and I'd bring on Richarlison. But what I'd say to Son, I'd just whisper in his ear, I'd say to him, man, I'm just going to give you a little break because I think you need it.
Yeah.
You know? And I want to give Richarlison a chance.
Yeah.
And it's just a psychology thing, Matt. You just have to make sure that they're happy. You keep everybody happy. It's a very hard game to keep everybody happy because you won't keep everybody happy, you know.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna.
Sorry, William, I didn't mean, but this is just broken. I just saw this. I think We Are TV put it up on their Twitter. Now, apparently, this come from the press conference. Conte on Son, and I think he said this to the press. You're trying to create a problem. So, do you think, Philip and guys, do you think the press are making more out of this bad form from Son than probably than what it really is, Philip? And I'll start with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the old Sky Sports routine again.
Yes.
Let's create a problem at Tottenham, even though there isn't one. We'll make out there is. I mean, Son.
They do it to us all the time, man. They do it to us all the time.
The Golden Boot winner going 3 games without a goal. That's a big story. Let's make it out he's not happy at Spurs or he's he's gone off the boil completely. Well, there's absolutely no, and Conte is absolutely spot on in calling that bullshit out. It might just make them think, and I can guarantee it's either the Daily Mail or the Sun or Sky Sports.
Oh God. The Sun, man. The only thing the Sun was ever good for was page 3.
Yeah, well, as Ronnie Barker, you know that old series Porridge that was on. Ronnie Barker says to God, if you go into the shop, will you get me something to read? Oh yeah, get me the Sun as well. You know.
Right. He was right after the Champions League draw yesterday. I'll start with you, William, because Ellie and I watched them. Please get over and watch our Champions League draw. You'll do it. It really was. Tottenham have been drawn against Frankfurt, Sporting CP, Marseille in the Champions League group stages. And basically, it was what are these thoughts? And his thoughts were, you know very well, we're talking about the most important and the most difficult competition in Europe, maybe in the world, because you find the best. Because you find the best teams in the world in this competition, in our group. Our group, for sure, our target is to try to go to the next round. This has to be clear. I think we gain the possibility to play this important competition we want to enjoy to play good football and possibly
Win.
win.
It.
Now, I'll start with you, William. What did you think of our group yesterday? Are you pleased with the group that we were drawn yesterday?
You've got to be pleased with that, Dermot. That's look at Group C. That group like that. I can't believe that. Like if I was Inter Milan or any of those other teams like Bayern Munich, I'd be asking the question, how the hell are we in this group and Tottenham get that group, you know? But that's the look of the draw. It's the look of the draw. It's the way it goes. You know, everybody has their conspiracy theories. Oh, Yaya Toure is turned into a Tottenham man because he's pulling out this and that. But it's just a look of the draw. And we got lucky. We got an easy group. But sometimes when you have an easy group, you take your eye off the ball.
That won't happen with Conte, I don't think.
No, I don't think it will with Conte. But you have to be careful because you can get complacent. And it's not good.
It's the only group that hasn't got a team in it that won their league this year.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
and there is another.
No wonder why there's conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Well, there's a question that I found another question today on this group. Apart from last night's one, which I actually cocked up halfway through, but I did get them. There is one Tottenham player in our squad has a link to one team in our league. Who is that player and who is that team?
Eric Dyer, Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah. Yes.
That was easy, Dylan. Make him harder.
Yeah. Well, I thought last night I foxed you a little bit last night.
Oh, you did, but you put in trophy-winning season. That's what threw us. Yeah.
It was a good question.
We'll give you that one, though. We'll give you that.
Yeah, we should be topping that group. We should be topping that group easily.
Yeah, we should be. And we should be top after 3 games. We shouldn't even have to play we can play the kids in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you there, Ellie?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Put my camera back on. Sorry.
I was waiting for William to say the ghost had returned, but no, you're there.
I was just about to. I didn't want to cut you off, Dermot.
Very quickly, Ellie, the Champions League group. Did you hear? I don't know if you heard what Conte said, but basically, we want to play good football and possibly win it. He's got it in his bag that he wants to win the Champions League. Philip said it last night. It's 140th birthday this year. What a year to win it. Can Spurs win the Champions League, Ellie? Yes or no?
Yeah, of course we can. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. Look, Real Madrid just scraped through, really. Without Benzema's goals, they didn't particularly play that well. I thought Man City outplayed them in both matches, but they just got lucky, and even against PSG, they just scraped through. So
it's because they know how to win, Ellie. They know how to win.
Obviously, they know how to win. That goes without saying. But sometimes in football, you know how to win, but you get a bit of luck as well. And
most definitely.
Yeah.
I would say.
All you have to do is look at us against Ajax. Look at us against Ajax. We rode our luck,
And Man City.
Yeah, and that little Casemiro was a big reason why they got to that final as well. Because he was playing his socks off, that boy. And Benzema, he delivered when he had to deliver. That's a sign of a top-class striker. And he came out the shadow of Ronaldo as well. Because Ronaldo he was always second fiddle to Ronaldo when Ronaldo was there. And then you got Luka Modric. What a fantastic player. What is he, 35, 36
God, what would you do to have him back at Tottenham?
Yeah.
I want him back even when he's 65. Bring him back.
That ball that he played was sublime. That ball that he played from one cross field right onto Benzema, it was fantastic. I was watching them the other night. I was watching them the other night, Ellie. They were playing Espanyol or someone, and Modric scored. Oh, God, he's brilliant, Modric. He's such a brilliant player.
I mean, I tried to buy him on FIFA once. I actually tried to buy him on FIFA, on my FIFA 22, and it actually come up a little thing at the bottom. This player has a grudge against your club. You can buy him.
Yeah, and he won the Ballon d'Or, didn't he, as well?
It was so
He
fun.
deserved to win it as well. He's just incredible.
And then the next question is big up Ellie for that. And I hope everyone's enjoying this. It was an idea I come up with today when I was planning this show. The next question he was asked was, could you agree that Spurs results have been better than your performances so far this season?
Yeah.
And it was a bit long-winded, the answer he gave, but he put, honestly, I think the performances were good in my opinion. For sure, you think you play against Wolverhampton and you won. Compared to last season, we lost 2-0. And after the first half, we struggled. Because we have to fight in every game, do you think it would be... Oh, sorry, that was a different question. So that was... What was it? Because
he's being the philosopher, isn't he?
Yeah. Because we have to fight in every game, do you think it would be easy against Nottingham Forest Sunday? I don't think so. Oh, hang on. No, sorry, I've got that wrong. Sorry. So even he's making out the point that, look, we didn't play well, but we got points. I'll start with you, William.
It's his English as well. It's his English, Dermot. It's his English, you know. It's his lack of the English language as well. So that's why most of his answers are so long-winded. Yeah. I wouldn't take anything from it, to be quite honest with you. He's gonna, like what Philip said earlier on, stupid questions like that, he's just gonna bat away. He'll go into a long-winded answer, and then most of the reporters will be like, "Well, I don't understand what he said there." You know, so he's too clever for that. Conte's too clever for those reporters, man. He's too clever for them.
Yeah.
He's not Tom. He's not that Thomas Tuchel.
He never gives anything away. He just says what he has to say just to please them, and then he'll stop. He doesn't
the only time he ever gives something away, Ellie. The only time he ever gives something away is when he's upset and he wants to get his point across. Yeah. And when he's brutal,
when it all spills out.
Oh yeah,
I love his
William
passion.
From Shamu. He says, William, are you upset with the news of Winks leaving?
I'm absolutely devastated. Hold on.
He's got the Kleenex.
Conte uses the press.
Yeah, he does.
That £1,000 bet is looking better now Winks is gone.
What was that, Philip?
I said Conte uses the press. He plays them. He plays them like a guitar. When he wants something to get, he'll give vague answers, non-committal answers that suits him. Yeah. But when he wants to get something across, he gets it across, and he says it in a language that's very, very easy to understand, and it's been very effective.
Yeah,
and he's aiming it at one person usually, Daniel Levy.
Yeah,
and then one of the last questions is here. What's the latest team news on Christian Romero and Oliver Skip? And then he said, Romero's recovery is going well. I think at the start of next week, like Skippy, they start to have training sessions with the rest of the team, but for this game, they're not available. And I have to check a couple of situations about Lucas and Hill, because today they didn't have a training session with us, but we have tomorrow to make the right decision for both players. So that was the press conference from today, Conte's press conference. Philip, what would you read into that press conference apart? Do you think it was a good one? Do you think it's, he seems happy, he's confident? And do you think he's sending a message to Levy? I'm still not happy about the transfer window.
Oh yeah, I'll be very next weekend's press conference will be more interesting because the transfer window will be shut. Yeah. And then we'll know what we've got and what we haven't got. So that's going to be very interesting. Today, it was a contractual obligation press conference. Turn up, talk a lot of waffle, and go home again. That's basically it.
Yeah.
There was nothing important for him to say today, or else he would have said it. Next week, different.
Yeah, exactly. And after Shamu, he says, no need to hide your pain, William. We can all see it. Chris must be absolutely
I sent a message on the Irish Hotspur to Chris saying, you must be devastated, man. Winks is gone.
Look, William, we got Nottingham Forest on Sunday. we should beat them, shouldn't we? We should just roll in, roll over them, be like Robin Hood. We take from the rich and we give to the poor. That's what we're doing.
But the thing is, you can never assume you're going to win. Because you got to remember too, this is their first real massive test for Nottingham Forest, and they got the home crowd. You know, the history's there as well between Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. You got to be up for it. You got to be up for the fight, because they'll be up for the fight. I guarantee you. You know,
it's the biggest game in 23 years.
Yeah,
exactly. They've waited a long time for this, and don't be surprised if they go 1-0 up. Don't be surprised, because it could happen.
I know.
But we've got to have the courage inside us to just go, right, we're 1 down, we can get back, we can win this game. And I do believe that our quality will show through in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we've got.
Because we've only been winning one game, haven't we? We've only scored first against Wolves. The other two, we've let in goals first. We've recovered.
Shamu puts here, the home fans will be up for it. If you can score early and shut them up, we should be all good. We have a better players and coach backs.
I agree with
and then
that.
Paul Pablo put 3 games where haven't played, 3 games where we've played, none have been convincing. No, but 3 games we have played, none have been convincing. Well, look, if you can pick up points,
the Southampton game was pretty good.
What I would do against Nottingham Forest is I would sit back against Nottingham Forest. I'd invite them on, and then I'd catch them big time with our pace. Destroy them with your pace, you know. Sonny over the top, Kane, Son, in.
Yeah.
And you could be 2 or 3-0 up then, you know what I mean? That's the best way to play against them. I wouldn't come out and I'd invite them on, because they're not good defensively. No way are they.
No.
You know?
Davis is going to be very important as well if he plays. Davis to Kane, he normally plays it inside to Kane, and then Kane will pick out Sonny. If they're pushing forward, we can catch them, and we can score a lot of goals if they do that.
Well, let's face it, that defence will never
come at us.
They'll never face such quality attackers as they're going to face on Sunday.
No.
And you can be sure they're not going to
second half was good.
They're going to be cute. They're not going to come forward. They might come at us in the first 5 or 10 minutes, but they're going to sit deep because they know we'll kill them on the break.
Yeah. And look, let's all hope.
That's exactly what I think, Philip. I think they'll load up the midfield. They'll put 5 across the midfield and 1 up front, and they'll be cautious as.
Yeah.
Well, I got a little something for Philip here. I've actually found this picture for you, Philip, and this is actually for you. I actually found it, and it's actually Bill Nick. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually Bill
I thought you were going to show a naked photo of Philip.
No. It's actually Bill Nick in the dressing room of the Super Spurs. And, you know, I don't know who he's talking to, but I don't know can you...
I'm trying to make out some of them. Well, let's see. It's very hard to make out the faces.
That could be Bobby Smith, you know. That could be Bobby Smith on the right, because he was a big guy. He looked like Bobby Smith because he had a big head as well.
Sitting at the very back there. You see the very back.
That's Jimmy Greaves in the background.
Just there.
Definitely Jimmy Greaves in the shorts.
Well, I found that picture today, Philip, and I wanted it because I know you got.
That's Terry Dyson, the other guy.
I know you got to pop off soon, but I wanted to show you that picture for the end of the show tonight. For you.
Oh, that's a very good one. Yeah. It's Oops.
You scared me, Dermot.
Someone knocked.
You scared me. I thought it was going to be a naked picture of Philip. I'm not scared.
Where did that come from? You, Philip?
Charging.
Is it the guards? Is it they're doing the late night raiding?
It's just been raided here.
It's the Jehovah's Witnesses. Get out there and answer the door.
All right.
I'll talk to you later, lads.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, Philip. Thank you very much for coming on, sir.
I got to go as well, Dermot. I got work to get to.
Okay. Well, me and Ellie will show the game. We're going to show the game now. So thank you to. Where can people find you, Philip?
You find me on here and on the Davis channel.
On with us?
And then, William, where can people find you, sir?
You can find me anywhere, Dermot. Anywhere, anytime.
On your way to work.
God knows.
Any place.
I think you're more inclined to find me on yours or the Irish Hotspur.
Yeah. Work, and Chumi says, work on the weekend, Willie Trooper. And
that's it, Brad.
Yeah, and Paul Pablo. So if I want to be harsh, including pre-season games, 6 games, we have not at all convinced me. Well,
give it time, Matt. Give it time. Give it time. Give it time.
As I said to Dave's channel earlier, it's all about opinions, and that's it. So
yeah, of course.
And
we'll be all right. We'll be all
says
right.
You're fighting kangaroos in the outback. He says that's what you're going to be doing. So
I will not. Have you ever seen the size of some of those kangaroos?
Yeah, they're big.
Holy shit!
And Lisa says, "Big up, William." So, but William, thanks for popping on. So it's always lovely to have you on here, and we love.
No,
everyone
not at all. It's my absolute pleasure, Dermot, coming on.
So,
my pleasure.
So everyone, please show some love for William in the chat. William, we might see you Sunday, but we'd definitely love to have you back for the post-match or the pre-match game for next weekend. Really would love to have
problem.
You back on,
I think the ghost has popped out again.
I don't know if Belly's popping out or popping in or popping everywhere. Oh, Jesus.
I'm still here, but my battery's very low.
Yeah, we're gonna wind up the show now.
I'm still here, but my battery's very low. So I'm sort of trying to charge it up at the same time.
Well, we're gonna wind up the show now. But listen, we've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who's come in tonight. Me and Nelly may pop on tomorrow at night with the Golden Game, which we're working the show tonight. So we will.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That. Me and Ellie are back here Sunday at 4:15 for the watch along for Nottingham Forest against Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And then we're back then at 8:00 then or 8:30 with a post-match show with me, Ellie, and I think Izan's joining us. And I think also and William, if William's around, Carrie Boy 85 will hopefully be with us on Sunday for his debut on the channel as well. We're doing the watch along with us. And do you know?
Is he an Irish lad? Is he an Irish lad?
I don't know. Paul Pablo,
thank you. Find out on Twitter.
It's our pleasure to do the show for you. No need to thank us. Thank you for tuning in.
Corey Boy. He sounds like an Irish lad. Corey Boy.
Second Irish. Can't get rid of them. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Shimei says, "What does your tattoo
they should
say,
be as well."
Which one? Which one? This one. That's that one should. The one me says my daughter Ruby. And then I've got a few more. But yeah, that's in there. Corey Boy, it's been a blast. Thank you, Femshot. Do Alan sends big up, William. She also says thank you for another great show, Auntie Ellie. Speak to you soon. Big up, big you all up. Big up.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Lisa, great show. See you Sunday. Big up, Lisa Coys. Corey Boy put, I am English lad with an Irish name. Well, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday, Corey Boy. And Tottenham, Super Tottenham, great show, lad, guys. Thank you. And Corey Boy says, my heart belongs to the Golden Island. Well, look, there's only one place in the world that's the best country in the world. William knows what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. And we're
Australia.
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 No, America.
Cyprus.
America.
Cyprus.
And can I just say, Michael Collins was 100. It was 100 years on Monday with his assassination, and and as I said before, I'm related to him, so I'm very, very proud of Michael Collins, man. So
yeah.
If you ever want to watch a film, watch Michael Collins, 1996. Liam Neeson, Julia Roberts. I forget who played Dev. Was it the fellow that starred in the Harry Potter films? Who was the dark art teacher in the Harry Potter films?
Oh yeah, that's I forget his name. Yeah, he played what do you call it?
He played Dev in the film.
Yes. Oh God, I can't think of his name.
The guy who's in charge of Slytherin. That guy.
He
The one who
died
wears the
he
dark
passed
cape.
away a few years
Yeah,
back.
he died. What was his name?
He was in also in Die.
His name's gone from my head.
Yeah, he was in the first Die Hard film.
Anybody in the chat can tell us.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat?
But that is a film to watch. And also, like, I don't know if William, you've seen Veronica Viren as well, her film. The General as well is another great film with Glenn.
Yeah, I like The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
That is a very good film.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Sad, though. Sad.
Your man's in that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fella out of what's the name of that program?
Cillian Murphy.
There we go. Alan Rickman.
Yeah, Alan Rickman.
Shamu got
Alan
it.
Rickman,
Alan
that's
Rickman.
it. Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't kill
He
me
was
in
a
my own
Spurs
country.
fan, I heard.
Ed M said, "Well, I hope they don't, Ed. I hope you're around for Sunday." And
yeah, there's no killings going on. Nobody's getting killed.
No. Apparently, just the police have arrested the second fella for the killing of that little girl in Liverpool tonight. So they've arrested somebody else for that. So good. Proud of where my bloodline's from County Cork, but born and bred in me. My birth father was from County Cork, from West Cork.
West Cork is beautiful. If you ever get to go somewhere, go West Cork.
My sister-in-law, Kate, she's from Kerry.
That's
another
lovely.
beautiful spot. Yeah.
Can I just say, Wexford is the best county in Ireland.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Switch off the show. Turn off everything. Don't listen to that. Jesus Christ. You are no better than Carlo. Stop it.
Look, we're far better than Carlo. You leave Carlo out of it. We're better than Carlo.
Hey, we started the first rising in Carlo. Let me tell you.
Kildare.
Yeah, but it came to Wexford as well, mind you. We did our bit as well. So you.
Oh, yeah. But where did Kevin Barry come from?
We'll get rid of him.
Wexford, you're famous for something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
strawberries.
for travellers. For travellers. They're famous for travellers.
Would you like to come onto this channel anymore?
Kildare. He's banned. Look,
I
feel like Andrew Tate at the moment. You're going to ban me? I'm Andrew Tate. I'm getting banned for saying travellers.
You're not getting banned. You're always welcome here.
You were talking about films, your favourite films. Were they Irish films?
Yes, they're Irish films. Yeah.
You need to watch The Wind That Shakes the Barley. It's a brilliant film, Ellie. Michael Collins.
The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
Yeah. Veronica.
Okay,
Veronica is
I'll watch it.
About the reporter that was...
It's sad, though. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says,
I like sad films if they're true.
Do you know what? I was saying this
to it'd be true, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying this to my partner the other night.
It's even more sadder.
All the Gaelic I learned at school, all I can say is Goran Margaret now. That's all I can say is thank you in Irish. That's it. I don't know how much
did
Gaelic...
you go up any more subscribers as well? Anybody,
I can say
anybody who hasn't subscribed in the chat, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Do you understand that one, Dermot?
I think I do, but I won't say yes or no. I think I do, but I'll...
Hit Lee Road, Exjock Sakul. Kick the ball in the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kick the ball. I think it's something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll tell you one thing. When I was at school, I could speak fluent Gaelic. I don't know. I was top of my class for Gaelic. I could speak.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then when we moved back to England, because of work, we stopped doing it. I just couldn't remember anything. But no, it's still a lovely language, actually.
When I lived in Dublin, I used to work with these Romanian guys, and I actually learned Romanian off them, and I used to speak Romanian with them.
Okay.
Yeah, they taught me all different words in Romanian, and then I actually was able to start put sentences together. But now I only remember bits and pieces of it now. But I actually used to sit and have like broken conversations with them, but they were really impressed. You know, I was like, "Yeah, you pick up things, don't you?"
We've got Paul Pablo. The Irish invented the toilet seat. The English years later put a hole in it. I don't know really how to take that. It's funny. Man.
Do you know? Here's one for you. Here's one for you guys. Do you ever see? You know the half door? You know the way you see the half door where you can open up the top half.
Yeah.
To allow in more light. Do you know it was the Irish invented that, and you know how they invented that? Because if you look at the old houses, the mud houses that the Irish had, they had little small windows. They weren't allowed to have big windows because they got taxed more. The bigger the window, the more the tax. So they came up with the idea of cutting the door in half to let more light in. And that's true.
Yeah. Corey Barry 85.
Only an Irishman can think of that.
Yeah, see, we're
no, I think someone was drunk and fell through the door and it sort of half split.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Maybe.
There's more light.
You know what, William? That's probably more likely what happened than anything else, to be fair.
And the donkey inside the house broke his fall.
Yeah, that's true. Corey Boy 85 plus and Miss Manate Grandad have not spoken any Gaelic since he passed 15.
God bless him.
No.
Ed M.
bless your
That's what
granddad.
Mick Collins said when he was told of the plan to kill him. They won't kill me in my own county.
I know.
And then Tom put still only 5 likes. Come on, people. Tom's on like duty. Well,
Come
listen,
on.
We are going to leave it.
Come
there.
on, smash the like and smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, everybody.
I tell you what, we've had a good
Let's
show
get to
tonight.
600 before we end.
Well, we're ending now, Ellie, so there's no chance of that.
I keep pressing the subscribe button,
Well, we've still
but it
got
won't
some
work.
people in the chat.
Yeah. You know, it's been a great show. I've really enjoyed it
Yeah,
tonight.
we've enjoyed it.
William, thank you for coming on and adding
No, my pleasure.
Your Australian
humour.
Irish twist to the show. It's been brilliant. Philip Brady, again, the Godfather. Everyone listen to him, because if you don't, he'll make you watch Sky Sports. And believe me, he will have the torture chamber ready for you.
Because he has a love for Sky Sports, doesn't he? But he does say
He'll
the
have
truth,
it ready
though. He
and he'll
does say
throw
the
away
truth.
the key.
And everyone, please listen to the Queen. If she tells you to do something, do it. I ignore her, but I get sent to the dungeons twice a day for ignoring her. So it's all a bit of fun. Well, listen.
You love it in there, don't you, Dermot? You love
Well, yeah, well, me and Mr. See, she's gone again.
Oh, the ghost! The ghost has disappeared. Jeez.
What a way to end the show. I don't really go into a dungeon, and I don't really enjoy it. On that point, I'm going to end this show of madness on score prediction for Sunday, William.
I think 5-1.
And I'm going for 4. I'm going for 5-1. Do you know what, William? I'll do 5-1 as well.
Yeah,
Thank you all
that's
for
it,
watching.
Dermot.
Please
You be a sheep.
Yeah. No, I'll go
You
for
follow
3-1
me.
then. Fuck you then. I'll go for 3-1 then. I was trying to be nice. Fuck you. Right. Please,
Sorry.
everyone, like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 600. We're 10 away. Let's get to 600 before the match
let's
on
get it
Sunday.
done.
Thank you very much for everyone tonight. God bless you all. Take care. And whatever you do, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.